Oh, here we go. We're going to go that way, slowly creeping.
You're live now, Mike.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Coach Mike Fantasy Football Show and Emergency Room. We had an awful lot of injuries last week, and I'd also like to welcome my co-host, the amazing Jim Eade. How are you doing today, Jim?
I'm doing just fine.
How'd your fantasy teams survive all the injuries?
I got Devontae Adams hurt me bad. He got me like 3 points or something like that before he went out. He got hurt twice, I guess, in the same game. And I don't know the status. I don't know if you got an update on him.
The update is they're being careful with him. So that means we have absolutely no idea. He should be ready to go. And they need him to beat the New Orleans Saints on Sunday night. But, they lost Devontae for a few games last year, and they may just hold him out just not to blow their Super Bowl chances or winning the division chances, actually.
Right.
I was mentioning that name. I guess my toughest league, the league that really matters, we have a common friend in Ken Regan. And I was playing Ken and the odds-on favorite this week, and we went into the Monday night game 4 points apart, where I was begging John Gruden to give the ball to Josh Jacobs and don't kick field goals. Give the ball to Josh. What are you doing? And Gruden's. I had years of aggravation with that guy while he was the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a moment of joy when we won the Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team. But then after that, he turned into a mad scientist and drafted Gaines Adams instead of Adrian Peterson. And this year, Mike Mayock wanted to draft CeeDee Lamb. I wanted to draft Jerry Jeudy. I thought he was the best guy, as did you.
Yeah, I kind of did, yeah.
But Gruden said, no, we got to get Ruggs. We got to get Ruggs. Just
faster.
like Al Davis, the home run hitter. So
that's right.
What's he doing with Ruggs? Ruggs won the game for him. Ruggs had one catch last night, and he won the game for him, though, with the pass interference.
So tell me about the injuries in general.
He drafted Ruggs to get pass interference, so he's winning games without Ruggs catching, but getting pass interference. So it went down.
That's true.
It went down to, I started Greg Olsen and got 0 points. That was brilliant. While on my bench, I had Mike Gesicki scoring 35 points. So I lost to Ken, and I deserved to lose. Injuries didn't really hurt me so much, but replacing guys is important. So one that I missed out on, that that Ken was also trying to replace. Both of us own CMC in different leagues. So I think under replacing the injured guys, it helps to get their handcuff. And I was watching the game. It didn't look like he was hurt that badly, so I dragged my feet on getting Mike Davis. So Mike Davis is definitely the handcuff for Christian McCaffrey because he caught 8 passes in that game. And I think it makes sense to get the guy that replaces your guy because you're only going to need him for the time he's out. Now, I used to be against handcuffs. I used to think handcuffs are dumb because why should you get a handcuff guy when you could have like a better guy on your bench? You're tying up your bench with a handcuff guy all year, and I'm still not clear on that. But, let's go through the injuries. So, again, welcome to our injury report brought to you by American Saint-Gobain Glass Company. And today's players made of glass are Tyrod Taylor. Dude got a chest injury before kickoff and went to the hospital. I don't know what's up with that. But what a spectacular game played by Justin Herbert. And I've gone to mad lengths to replace I made a trade of giving up Daniel Jones for Justin Herbert because as much as I love Daniel Jones, he's a Jekyll and Hyde player. He could be a great player still, or he could turn into Mitch Trubisky. What's your opinion of Danny Dimes?
Well, I think he's got all the potential. He can make all the throws. I think that their offensive line is weak this year, and Barkley is out. So, I don't like their offense all of a sudden. It's just so, he might have to throw a lot and he might put up some numbers, but they'll probably be behind in games. He might have to pass,
lousy offensive line and lousy defense. So it's sad for Danny Dimes.
Yeah. Well, he went up against two tough defenses, Steelers and then the Bears at Chicago.
Yeah.
So, he might get some easier pickings down the road, but still, without a running game. And I don't know about this Lewis, the guy, his backup.
Yes. I had played Wheel of Fortune with my brain on that. I thought I was the Mr. Smart guy who had Henry Lee and put in a claim for Deion Lewis.
Uh-huh.
And then a few hours went by and I started thinking, I've seen that movie before too. When has Deion Lewis ever been good except for like a few games with the Patriots? He screwed up Derrick Henry's being the dominant guy. But I thought, and then the preseason game I watched this year. I actually watched a preseason game this year. Were you aware of that? I got to watch your team. I got to watch, what do they call it? The blue and white game?
Oh, they usually have a Hall of Fame game.
No, I'm talking about the Giants. It's Packers have family night where they have an actual game of offense, defense, and the Giants also had a similar night. I guess probably every team does. But Wayne Gallman was spectacular in that game, and it was the home New York announcers talking about, anything ever happens to Saquon, Wayne's the guy, and he was looking fantastic. And he was inactive last week. Yeah. So they're going to activate him, and he may be the primary back, and Deion Lewis might just be the pass catching back.
Did you see who they picked up, though?
Did they pick him up?
Yeah.
It's done? I've been watching constantly so I can tell everybody on the air, and I'm now looking. As long as
he passes a COVID test, he's in.
I'm now looking. Roger Goodell, Sammy. What happened to Sammy? Sammy tweeted he's healthy. Philip Dorsett is on injured reserve. Devontae. They still don't have it posted on Roto World.
So he has to pass the COVID test. Yeah, he's got to pass the COVID test.
Is it Devonta Freeman? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Great, because that's what I did. I went and picked up Devonta Freeman instead of Deion Lewis.
Yeah, so and then Gallman might be the man there.
Exactly.
I've had him for years.
Dude, this is so good. Our friend Matt Hawkins owns Saquon, and he had Gallman as a backup, and he dropped Gallman to get Deion Lewis. I'm thinking, whoa, I should be the slick guy here. I should go get Gallman now because I remember watching him play so well, but I already had picked up Devonta. So here's the deal on Devonta. Talented back. He got rid of his agent. He was asking too much money. Nobody wanted to pay him because he used to be good. Maybe he still is. But if he didn't get picked up by a team this week, it was never going to happen. Right. So, I didn't know that news. Thank you for making my day, Jim. I'm thrilled. So now I guess I don't have to pick up Gallman. I mean, I still may do it.
Yeah. You might want to. You might want to.
That's the problem there. Who really knows which of the three? And so it's probably, and we're talking about, we're arguing now about what three guys to get a team that has a lousy offensive line. So they're all probably going to be bad. I mean, seriously, So that solves the Giants situation. We've covered the Giants pretty well here. Now, Drew Lock. I like Drew Lock. And apparently he's going to be out for 5 weeks. So I immediately picked up Driscoll, who used to play pretty well for the Florida Gators till he broke his fibula and they kind of screwed him over and he left Florida. He looked pretty good, and I think he's probably the best quarterback pickup of the week. Although, they picked up Blake Bortles. Oh. Dude, do you go with Driscoll or do you go with Bortles in Denver?
Well, I think they might go with Driscoll because he's been with them longer, but Bortles has been around and around and around. Yeah. So, if Driscoll doesn't perform, Bortles will be in. So I don't know how to touch that situation.
Yeah, I'm actually relying heavily on Driscoll, and the ghost of Blake Bortles is terrifying to me. Yeah. And then we had Jimmy G, who dates porn stars and misses guys in the end zone wide open in Super Bowls. I really don't like Jimmy G. And I always liked Mullins. Mullins, from Mississippi State, just like Brett Favre. Little time we've seen Mullins play, he was playing pretty darn good. But then they went and got Jimmy G. And until they get Brett Favre, until they get Aaron Rodgers, the 49ers, which they will in a year or two, I thought they were just going to ride with Jimmy G. But Jimmy doesn't want to lose his job. So it sounds like he may be back this week already.
Did he get his arm banged up, though?
No, he's got a high ankle sprain. So he can.
Okay.
He doesn't run that much, so he could probably limp around back there until somebody crushes him.
Man, those high ankle sprains are terrible. That's what happened to McCaffrey.
Yeah. So I did pick up Nick Mullins, and then I dropped that. See, okay, I got a story to tell. Yeah, okay, I'll tell my story now then, I guess. Okay. When we did our week 1 show, I had a draft right after our show, Jim, and I was, been drafting all year. It was really confident. Yeah, I got this draft stuff down. And I thought I could just go into a draft with no preparation. And as I'm drafting away, I used my usual strategy of trying to draft Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins, because I think Ingram is about to fall over dead, and Dobbins will take his place, but it would be good to have both guys. So as I'm drafting both guys, suddenly I realized, oh, no, this is my league with 20 teams, which I was the champion of last year. That waiver wire is a lot of fun in that league. But actually, I ended up with a really good draft, but right after I picked up Dobbins, I noticed, there are no quarterbacks left except. Guess why am I always the last one to find out this guy sucks? Everybody in my league knew. Okay, who's the worst quarterback in the league, Jim?
Well, you can take your pick, but I know where you're going.
Yeah,
you're going Minnesota.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Well, okay,
Yeah.
I think we can all agree he's the most overpaid quarterback in the league.
That's for sure.
And I like the guy. He's a good Christian. He's got a big.
He's a nice, and he's played well in the past.
He's got a glass urn of stones right by his front door that he takes one every day to make him realize, about what's really important in life. That time's running out. I like the guy, but as a quarterback, and so. Anyway, I got stuck with Kirk Cousins and no backup for bye weeks, and plus he's not been putting up good numbers. So out of desperation, I had been so confident that I was a smart guy. My last pick in like every draft was Bryce Love, who was projected to be the next running back for the Washington football team. When they sent Adrian Peterson to Detroit. Why would they let Adrian go unless they were hot about some guy? Could it be Antonio Gibson, who he's done okay?
Not Peyton Barber.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes. So I thought that was a great pickup. So I was being genuine. I wasn't trying to rip everybody off. I offered everybody in the league Bryce Love for their backup quarterback. And one guy, everybody said no, except one guy. One guy gave me Justin Herbert. And I was glad just to have that. So as I'm watching the game Sunday, I'm looking and I'm saying, wait a minute, that's a white guy quarterbacking the Chargers? What? And he almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs on his first outing. Maybe one of the best first outings by anyone. And he almost beat Pat Mahomes. The game went into overtime. So I am thrilled to get Justin. The coach is saying Justin's not going to start yet. But we've seen this movie before. Poor Tyrod Taylor with Baker Mayfield, where Hugh Jackson kept saying, no, Tyrod's a starter. Yeah, well, that's not going to last long. Justin looks like the future of the San Diego Chargers. So I highly recommend it. I made a trade. I actually gave up Daniel Jones for Justin, and I'm offering somebody Tom Brady for Justin right now. Because I promise you, 10 years from now, Justin will be quarterbacking the Chargers. Tom Brady will not be quarterbacking the Buccaneers.
That's true.
Montgomery looked like he was injured after scoring that touchdown. I don't know if he's going to be playing or not next week, but again, that's a lousy offensive line. Chicago's never gone to pick up anybody, and they went and paid their running back Tariq Cohen a huge contract.
Well,
he's a gadget
think about this. Think about this. They scored 17 points in Chicago against the Giants.
Yeah,
that Giants defense couldn't stop anybody. Come on. It's like and 17 points, that's not a good offense.
Right, the great Rich Trubisky. And Tariq Cohen, they pay him all the money and they don't use him. And hope Allen Robinson didn't hear that they paid Tariq Cohen instead of him when he just wants a contract and he took all the Chicago Bear stuff off his Twitter. So, either Allen Robinson or Anthony Miller were supposed to get a bunch of passes in that game.
But you haven't mentioned the two injuries that are just, one of them is just heart-stopping for me Sunday. I saw Barkley go down, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of the Giants season.
Yeah, I feel bad for Saquon, and he's such a talented guy, and for him not to go through this
Unbelievably good.
now. But I did get a trade offer from Matt Hawkins in one of our leagues that I don't know if this is even. Which side would you take? Would you take Anthony Miller or would you take Will Fuller?
Well, Miller's got more upside, I think, but I like Fuller.
Yeah, I was a Fuller owner, and Matt is like pushing me. Yeah, you should take Miller. Fuller always gets injured. So we're arguing about the trade. How many points did both of those guys get Sunday? The hot trade we were going to make. They both got 0.
Right.
That's got to be like the funniest trade ever. Here, let me give you my bum guy for your bum guy. I think Fuller pulled a hamstring again. They kept taking him to the sideline. He didn't get anything in the game. And Miller, I don't know what's going on there. Just got to blame Mitch Trubisky. So Cam Akers got hurt. And it's which Los Angeles player do we pick up this week?
I don't know.
Are you serious? I know. I never did say pick up Henderson. I already picked up Malcolm Brown. Cam Akers was supposed to be the guy of the future there, but he looks like a plotter. He's already hurt. There's 3 guys that play starter in that backfield. Dude, situation to avoid. And then Barkley. And then I've never seen a guy do this. First touch, 2 games in a row. You know what I'm talking about? 80 yards for a touchdown. 2 weeks in a row.
No,
You're 49ers. You're 49ers. Mostert.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. And he got hurt.
I've got experience in NFL eyes, like Gale Sayers. I don't remember ever seeing anybody do that. Now, I do remember Travis Williams returning 2 kickoffs for touchdowns against the Cleveland Browns back in '67. That's the closest thing I can think to what Mostert did. Just amazing. Unbelievable. And then, he's hurt. So, who do we pick up for Raheem Mostert? Tevin Coleman also got hurt. Tevin Coleman also got the guy from Minnesota who played behind Adrian Peterson, Jarrett McKinnon, who was supposed to be the heir apparent to Adrian Peterson, and then he got hurt. And he went to the 49ers, and he was going to be the great 49ers back, and he got hurt. And it looked like his career was over. Well, the word in training camp is the linebackers couldn't tackle the guy. He was too fast. He had an excellent training camp. He's only had 3 or 4 carries last week, but it went for a zillion yards. That is a great pickup. So
I think so.
Yeah. And I expect great things from Jarrett McKinnon. But again, what's going to happen when Mostert comes back?
Or the quarterback.
Yeah, and we still don't have Deebo Samuel back, and we got the great tight end.
Kittle's hurt. Yeah.
It's just, And
what's the word on Christian McCaffrey, though?
Kyle Shanahan blamed the Giant Stadium field. It's too sticky. That's why their guys got hurt. McCaffrey's out for 5 weeks. He says he wants to come back quicker, like a real athlete always says that. He wants to try to come back quicker, but it's 5 weeks.
High ankle sprains, man. I've seen people go out for a year with one of those.
You don't want to break that guy, right? So I would not bring him back too quickly. And the pickup there is Mike Davis. He caught 8 passes in that game, and that changes that whole offense. Ian Thomas was proclaimed by the new coach as finally that Greg Olsen is gone. The old ancient Greg Olsen went away to get 0 points for me this week at Seattle. He's not a Carolina Panther anymore. So Ian Thomas has had a lousy first 2 weeks. But with McCaffrey out, they got to replace those passes. I think Ian Thomas may be getting some looks from Teddy Bridgewater. So, that's just really, really the first 2 picks in the draft. Everybody went Christian McCaffrey, and then they went Saquon Barkley, both out for extended periods of time. Nick, Nick Bosa, tore Achilles. He's out for the
I
year.
know. And Thomas, who played for Stanford, he got one too. Another defensive lineman for them.
Yeah, and maybe it is the field. Awful lot of injuries in that one game, and I just don't remember this many this early in the season. It's
it's got to be the COVID lockdown and no preseason games. It's got to be part of it.
Yep, there you go. Just when we thought that we were going to be able to get rid of the preseason, maybe it does have a use. But I don't like how ticket buyers get gouged for garbage games every year. It's not right. Sure. It's not right. The NFL, the starting unit plays for maybe one series, and then
it's terrible.
It's not right.
They have to pay full price. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's been a ripoff for a long, long time.
So maybe instead of having these boring games, although the preseason also gives guys a chance that are in the bubble, but maybe they can find a way of conditioning them without preseason. I don't know, but we'll probably get preseason back.
There's nothing except for hitting that really gets you in football shape, though. So you got to hit. You don't want to do it in practice that much, but I don't know how many games they should play, but it's certainly not 4, and certainly not gouging the fans for full price.
Right.
Yeah. But so there was some devastating injuries, and it's a shame, and it's just playing havoc with the fantasy football community right now. Most people took Michael Thomas first. I took Devontae Adams. I thought he was going to have the best year of all the wide receivers.
Oh my God! I just realized the top 2 running backs and the top 2 receivers are already. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, that's horrible.
So do you know who's the league leader in rushing after 2 weeks?
Could it be a Green Bay Packer?
I thought you might know.
Yeah. Hit me, baby, one more time. Yeah, Aaron Jones. Everybody predicted Aaron Jones would be buried by the draft choice of Mr. Dillon. But no, Aaron Jones, he can't score 19 touchdowns. He's better than he was last year. It's amazing. I'm very happy and very proud.
You might want to pick up. Would you pick up one of the other Green Bay receivers if they're available?
I did. And I normally never do that. But I like Alan Lazard. I still think he's the guy. Marquez Valdez-Scantling gets these long passes, and he's done it 2 weeks in a row, like 60 yards, 40 yards. Dude, you can't keep repeating that. But I did pick up MVS as well, just in case. But again, the guy for the long run there would be Lazard. Lazard will still have value whether or not Devontae Adams plays.
That's true.
I had some funny things I took some notes on in the beginning, like Jonnu Smith. I traded for Jonnu Smith and was going to have him as a keeper, and then I didn't. And not everybody, some people have been saying, I don't understand it either, because I looked at the stats. What basis do you have that Jonnu Smith is going to break out? Now, I did have a basis in the Tennessee offense we're talking about. I predicted Corey Davis would break out, and I've been saying this on the show every week. And I dropped AJ. I traded AJ Brown in every league. And AJ Brown's done nothing this year. Now, he does have a bone bruise. But Corey Davis, who is a higher pick than AJ Brown, has been doing very, very well every week. So the reason I didn't really like those guys, is Corey Davis better than AJ Brown? I don't know. But he was a better value in fantasy to pick him up in a later round. He's cheaper. So, I got all Corey Davis and I got no AJ Brown. And then I decided, you know what? This is a rushing offense with Derrick Henry. So I couldn't get excited about Jonnu Smith anymore. Plus, I really am not sold on Ryan Tannehill yet, but he's been fantastic. And Jonnu started the game, 2 touchdowns, boom, boom. That was kind
I'm
of
still
funny.
not a believer, but he's doing it.
No, I'm still not a believer either, right?
Yeah.
And then they got that.
I got to give him credit, though.
They got that no-name guy they threw touchdowns to. I can't remember the guy's name. He's another backup tight end. Where it's I don't want any part of that.
When backup tight ends catch passes, everybody in fantasy world goes, "Oh no, nobody's got him."
Another thing that amused me was, do you remember the 23-yard run by Tyreek Hill?
Oh yeah.
That got called back because Sammy Watkins held twice on the play. I wonder if Sammy Watkins is intentionally sabotaging Tyreek Hill.
I don't know.
He didn't hold once, he held twice.
Yeah. He wanted to make sure that was called back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
But having a guy like that on my fantasy team, he's going to sabotage everybody else. I love it.
Watkins is showing some potential for being a good pick this year.
Yes, he is. And then the guy you predicted, both of us agreed on Calvin Ridley, who has been massively outproducing Julio Jones. Oh my God. The onside kick. Dallas. Next down, as Larry Hagman used to say, next down Dallas. Can they find a way to just the miracle things had to happen for them to win. Now that onside kick by Zerline, that spun. And everybody went. It was like watching a curling match, right?
I know. They surrounded the ball and didn't catch it.
Right. So what's the rule on that? Jim, why were them big guys just not touching the ball and all looking at it like they're doing curling, trying to look, hey, give me a broom. What is the rule? Does it have to go 10 yards?
Yes, has to go 10 yards.
For which team?
Yeah, unless they touch it.
No. It has to go 10 yards for the kicking team.
That's correct.
There are offensive guys standing around staring at the ball, waiting for it to go 10 yards. That's how Dallas got that onside kick. Now, the Atlanta guys that were staring at it were mainly big, large linemen. Now,
why don't you have your hands guys out there? Yeah.
They did have the hand guys out there, but here's the deal. The lineman guys are not supposed to touch it. That's why they were watching it. Who was supposed to get that ball and was standing there staring at it? Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Julio could have just jumped on it. Instead, he waited. I'm like, Julio, what are you doing, dude? So I don't know what's up with him. He just seems like his mind's not in the game. And you can't really even blame. I guess you can blame that on Julio, but you got to blame it on the special teams coach. Like, they don't even know the rules. Really? It's like before you send them out on the game deciding, everybody knows Dallas is going to onside kick. Hey guys, go get the ball. The hands team, get the ball. Don't wait for it to go 10 yards. Ridiculous. So Dallas was very lucky.
Even if you get a penalty, you get the kick again. It's like,
Well, it's not a penalty for the offense to get it. They can get it at any time and keep it. They don't have to wait.
The offense is kicking the ball, right?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The receiving team can get it at any time. The kicking team has to wait. The receiving team doesn't, and it was just one of the most idiotic plays in NFL history for Julio not to go after that ball. That's his freaking job. He gets paid millions of dollars. Are you serious? So
why is he out there if he doesn't go after the ball?
Well, we also saw that. We saw that happen. That Green Bay, Seattle a couple years ago. That cost Aaron Rodgers a Super Bowl because our guy did not go get the ball.
So, who's your favorite waiver wire pickup this week?
Well, before I was still mentioning funny things. The guy that we agreed on would be a breakout this year, and he has been. Calvin Ridley, right? And there was a funny thing in the end zone where the guy. I wish I knew which Dallas guy was covering him, but the guy got in position in front of him, and he kind of backwards headbutted Ridley's face, where Ridley might have caught it, but I don't think it was an intentional helmet-to-helmet thing because both were falling backwards. So Ridley gets knocked to the ground by the guy's helmet, and the guy feels bad, the Dallas guy. He reaches down to help Ridley up, and Ridley shakes his head no, and then looks over to the ref and asks the ref to help him up, and the ref did help him up. And I just thought, wow, that is intense.
That has to be a snake bit organization, the Falcons, man. They get to the Super Bowl and lose it like that, and then they lose to the Cowboys like that. Wow, that's got to hurt.
So you asked me an intriguing question. Who are my favorite picks on the injury wire? And I've changed them all because I waiver injury wire. What am I talking about? I'm not speaking English, but I'll try. All right. I am here. I am. I found all my teams. I have more teams than I've had. Most I ever had was 24. I got 12 this year. So in my NFL.com, I switched picking up Deion Lewis for Benny Snell to Joshua Kelly. I really think Joshua Kelly has taken the Melvin role in Los Angeles, San Angeles. Yes,
Yeah,
Chargers.
right.
The Chargers. He's taking the Melvin Ingram role. A great rookie from UCLA. And while Eckler's a good player, he's small, but he also is the strongest guy in the team. He is the most. He's built. I mean, he works out. He's got the best body on the team. Which is, if you're tiny and they can't see you, and you're like,
Joe Morgan for
Clyde
the
Edwards-Helaire. It's Jim Taylor. Jim Taylor with the Packers also was majorly into isometrics. So Eckler's good, but Joshua Kelly, I think, is really and again, it's a committee, but it's a good committee. The guy got like 23 carries. So I just changed my mind. I changed my mind and went with Joshua, and I did the same thing I also picked up Jonnu Smith for Dallas Goedert. I don't like the 2 tight end situation in Philadelphia. I don't like it that they keep going with the scat protection instead of giving the guy decent coverage, where Carson Wentz is looking like he's not looking good. He doesn't have offensive line help. Deshaun Jackson is not putting out a lot of effort. The guy, what was it, Arcega-Whiteside, that they drafted instead of DK Metcalf? What a brilliant choice that was. The receivers.
You got to talk about Philadelphia. I got to say the FamilyDollarStore.com, because that's one of the sponsors.
One of our sponsors, I've
really gotten along with really well, Lynn Shepard. And he's a Philly fan. I can't take it away from him.
And Walter Cherepinski, our friend, Walter.com. You want to get great football advice besides us? I think more opinions. You got cancer. You're going to get more than one opinion from a doctor. Walter is highly entertaining. Walter used to be an Eagles fan. He lives in Philadelphia, and he still knows more about the Eagles than everyone else. But when I asked him on our first broadcast, what team do you follow? He follows the NFL. He doesn't call himself an Eagles fan anymore. That's sad.
I'm still a Giants fan, even though I live right by the Raiders. Or not anymore. They're in Las Vegas, but I used to live right by the Coliseum.
Wow. So that's fantastic. So Zach Ertz and Goddard. I never liked the committee tight end thing. I didn't even like it when Aaron Hernandez was still alive.
No.
So do you think I'm doing the right thing, dropping Dallas for Jonnu Smith?
I don't know. I don't feel very strongly either way.
My tight end on the bench, by the way, last week, Tyler Higbee. He only scored 3 touchdowns.
Well, there you go.
So that got me extra. That got me extra.
He might deserve a start.
That got me upset with Dallas. But I some guys don't like having two tight ends. I do.
I only have one.
Some guys here are wasting a roster spot. But you can go like, oh my God, people used to jump for Gronk, and now Gronk is worthless. But I once in a blue. Okay, I think once. One league I jumped for Kelsey. Another one I did jump for Kittle. But I think if you get 2 tight ends late, you can always compensate based on matchups and get something close. So
that's true.
I don't feel too badly having Higbee and Dallas Goedert, but I feel better with Jonnu Smith, and I don't know. So my next NFL.com team, I also Jonnu Smith for Chase Edmonds. I had Chase Edmonds as a handcuff to Kenyon Drake because I really think Chase Edmonds.
He's got talent.
I think he's going to be the lead back, but it just hasn't. They haven't given him the snaps. So I'm looking at my roster and saying, why am I tying up my roster? I'm not starting either one of them. I got Drake and Edmonds. I got Dobbins on the bench. I got Chris Carson on the bench, and my starters are Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jonathan Taylor. So I just felt like I had too many running backs. I love Chase Edmonds, but somebody had to go, and he was the only one that made sense.
Yeah.
So I have cut ties with him in some leagues. I'm still keeping him in most leagues. So
it's hard to let somebody go that you have faith it's going to be good.
Yeah,
but it's hard, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
Roster spots are precious.
ESPN, I picked up Jonnu Smith for Benny Snell. I have Hawkinson in that league, so I'm happy with that. But I'm waiting for it to load, and it is now loading. And I have Higby for oh God, Higby for Daniel Jones. Yeah, I've cut ties with Daniel Jones everywhere. That's a league where I was surprised Daniel Jones and Matthew Stafford and Carson Wentz were all available. Maybe I should have cut Carson Wentz.
Well, Jones is my backup quarterback to Josh Allen.
Yeah, you got a dynamic pair there that are erratic, but very exciting, and both can run.
And both can run, yeah. And Josh Allen has been the leading passers out. So, who saw that coming?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I do know. I know who saw it coming, though. Ken Reagan.
Yeah.
He traded Baker Mayfield to get him, and it turned out to be a great trade for him.
That's a great trade, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but he also gave up, what was it? He gave up Odell Beckham. Yeah, he gave up Baker and Odell for Josh and AJ Green. That's right. I remember that. And that was a great, I predicted at the time that would be a great trade for Ken, and it was. I've given up on Sony Michel, and I picked up Mike Gesicki, who had like 100 touchdowns against the Bills. Who saw that coming? Ryan Fitzpatrick, only one that saw that coming. He's so up and down, that guy. It's amazing. Other ESPN league. Oh, Leonard Fournette was still out there. What a dumb league. I should win the title in that league, huh? I picked up Leonard Fournette for Benny Snell. So let's go to my Yahoo leagues. I only got 3 of those.
What about Snell? I mean, I thought Connor was going to be just benched.
Yeah, that's one where I was wrong. Yeah, because they gave every indication they were trying to replace the guy. Benny Snell played a great game, and even the coach made the comment about we'll leave the light on for you, for Connor. We'll leave the light on for you. So I thought, oh well, that's the ultimate screw you. And then Benny Snell doesn't get the ball at all. So I don't know what's going on there. And
I don't have either guy, so I don't care really. But
when crap like that happens, I just say screw it. It's a situation to avoid.
Yeah,
and I just don't want anything to do with it. So
I don't have
in my Yahoo leagues, I dropped Benny Snell for Joshua Kelly. And here's the deal: stack your waiver pickups, because somebody's going to beat you to one of these guys, very likely. So I put in 3 claims. I got Joshua for Snell, Jerick McKinnon for Snell, and Mike Davis for Snell. So I figure I'll get one of the 3. And honestly, all 3 are good waiver pickups.
They're better than Snell, probably.
Yeah, so I don't care. I don't care. Give me whoever. My other waiver claim is...
That's the way I play the waiver wire, too. I had the same drop for multiple players, because who knows who's ahead of you, who they're going to pick.
I did exactly the same thing in another Yahoo league, except my first waiver was to go get Mike Gesicki. So I put him ahead of the 3 running backs, because I figured, you know what? I'll get both of them. I'll get Gesicki and one of the 3 running backs. I don't care. It's just a prophylactic move anyway. So, all right, let's see what I did here now. Oh, my trade. Oh, let's see what's happened. I'm not doing that. Activity. Now, in the leagues with IDPs, Matt beat me to Jason Pierre-Paul, who is among the sack leaders in the league. Who's leading the league in sacks? Do you have that stat?
I could find it, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
Oh, I had it right here. Here, this might be it.
I got tackles.
No, that's not it. Hold on.
Devin White has got the most tackles.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that something? That's amazing to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And my boy Kirksey. Kirksey was one of my big pickups in individual defensive players.
Who's leading the league in receptions?
Well, that would
Do you know?
That's a huge surprise in yardage. Stephon Diggs. What a surprise. I mean, who would think that Josh Allen, I don't know, I only got the yardage. Who's got the most? Calvin Ridley?
The receptions are DeAndre Hopkins, who somebody told me was going to get down in production this year.
It's
They
going to
weren't going to
happen.
get as many touches.
He's not going to get as much volume in the Cliff. All right, I got that story for you next. Then that's fine. He's
Well, I
gonna
got
do it
one
this-
right.
Yeah, well, he's going to do it this week too because Detroit's defensive backs are hurt.
Yeah.
But let me give you a story on that. There's a history on why that's happening. It's because while he should not get the volume, that play that got him the big yardage.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I wrote down the story, so I won't screw it up. And okay, here we go. And that's one of our hot takes of the day. There's a coach in the NFL who backed up Tommy. And this is relevant to Nuke. All this is relevant to Nuke. What coach backed up Tommy Brady? What NFL head coach used to be a backup for Tommy and got a ring? Trivia question of the day.
Yeah,
we should
got
give
me.
prizes for this.
Danny Dimes. No.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Whoa.
Yes.
I
Super
forgot he was
Bowl.
even in the league.
2004. Cliff Kingsbury was selected by the New England Patriots with the 201st overall selection. He did not play his rookie season, spending the year in injured reserve with an arm injury, but he got a Super Bowl ring. And then they waived him. So
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of press. Yeah.
he then signed with the Montreal Alouettes.
Oh, okay.
He spent part of the training camp there before being traded to, this is one of my favorite football names, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah.
What is
Well,
a Blue
who
Bomber?
is the Boston College quarterback that went up to Canada and then finally made it in the NFL?
I loved him. Great
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
He was short. They didn't like.
Yep.
They thought he was too short to play.
Yep. And Mike Ditka
Funny.
went out on a limb for him. And there was a big acrimony as to who should play in the playoffs. And they went with the other guy. They went with the other guy and lost. That was really bad. But why did Cliff Kingsbury get drafted? Because he held many NCAA Division I passing records, and he played for the Texas Tech Red Raiders at quarterback under Spikes Dykes and Mike Leach. And what play did they run there? They ran the mesh.
Hey, how did we do against the spread last week?
I'm not done with the Cliff Kingsbury Nuke Hopkins story. We were 9-6-1. That's very respectable. But what happened is later another guy in college ran the mesh, and his name is Kyler Murray. And now Cliff Kingsbury got Kyler Murray, and they've been years and years of running the mesh. This is where you take your outside receivers, way on the outside, and have them do a crossing pattern straight down the middle. It's where they almost collide. And that's why they call it the mesh.
And they could pick off their defenders.
Right. And that's what happened with Nuke. And Nuke suddenly got wide open because it's a legal pick play. And they call it the mesh. And who was Cliff Kingsbury's backup quarterback? It was Lincoln Riley. And Lincoln Riley taught Kyler the mesh at Oklahoma. So that play's had a very long history. So they run plays like that, and it still is designed. They're still designing plays for Nuke. But the volume, he likes running those. I just don't see that sustaining. He's a very good player. He may lead the league, but the volume that he was getting, I just don't see them going to him as often as they did at Houston. They've done it so far. But, so far I've been wrong. So bravo to you. Now, last week, we're running out of time, actually. Last week we went 9-6-1. And I guess maybe we should just go ahead and go to this week.
Okay.
Yeah. And we could go back to last week if we still have time. But this week, Thursday night, what an exciting game. Dude, I want you to tell me what the spread should be in this game. Miami is Jacksonville.
Oh. And that's the only game we're going to get Thursday? Oh.
Yeah, and please, be an odds maker for me. Tell me what the spread should be. Who should be favored?
Where are they playing?
Jacksonville.
Then I'd say Jacksonville if it's within 3 points either way. Jacksonville will squeak it out.
There used to be a 3-point home field advantage. And right before the show, I was talking with Walter Cherepinsky, and we were talking about whether or not that exists anymore. And Walter thinks
Right.
because there are no fans,
There's no crowd. Yeah.
he says it's a 2-point advantage now. So Jacksonville is a 3-point favorite there. That means the wise guys think that the Jaguars are 1 point better than Miami. And then they get 2 points for COVID or FOVID, home field advantage. What the heck do you do with that game? 3-point Jacksonville. Do you take Miami or Jacksonville?
I don't want to pick either team, but I will pick Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. So we differ on that one. Let me enter that in my records right now.
Yeah.
So
I
Mr.
don't like
Jim.
Jacksonville. I hate picking them,
Right.
but
I'm going
I
with the
don't like
Dolphins.
picking Miami either.
I'm going with the Dolphins, and I bet that game ends up being a push. Then we have,
But they should both lose that game.
yeah, exactly. Yes, and they probably both want to. Although the way, well, actually, the Dolphins already tanked for Tua. But if Jacksonville is tanking for Trevor Lawrence, they haven't told the players about that, especially Gardner
Really?
Minshew. Yeah, Gardner is playing like, no, man, we don't need no Trevor Lawrence.
I agree. Yeah, he's been amazing to me. I did not see that coming. So
What team should tank for Trevor Lawrence? What 0-2 team should just say screw it?
the Jets.
Okay, that's a good
I don't
one.
like
The other one, another one would be the Vikings. And another one might be your Chicago Bears, who are now 3.5-point underdogs at Atlanta. Come on, man. I'm going to be Joe Biden here. Come on, man. Really? 3.5?
Underdogs at Atlanta.
You want me to
But
pick first? Or you want
yeah,
me to
go ahead. Pick first because I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
Come on, man.
Well,
Falcons, easy.
I would go with
easy.
the Falcons.
Easy. Home field, Mitch Trubisky, turnover machine. Come on, Falcons, yes. We both agree, right? All right. Now, here's a tough one, man. Cincinnati Bengals and Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a 6-point favorite.
6 points? Nah, I hate picking the Bengals. Oh, gosh, I hate that. I got to go with the Bengals.
Yes, we both agree. Yeah. And I love Carson Wentz, but Eagles are looking like a train wreck right now. Oh, their coach. They asked the coach in a press conference. Did you see this? They asked him, is there anything you can say to explain the regression of Carson Wentz? And Doug Peterson said, progression? No, regression. Yeah, that's a good question. He actually said that. He said, that's a good question. Wow.
Confirming that there was a regression. Yes.
Yeah. And I heard Eric Mangini talking about that once when he was a coach. Was it Chad Pennington? They asked him at a press conference who's the starting quarterback, and Mangini said he should have just said Chad Pennington, but he added 2 words. He said Chad Pennington for now. Oh, did that cause an uproar?
Yeah.
So
some confidence, some vote of confidence,
Yeah, these coaches need to be more like Bill Belichick, like be really to hardly saying we're on to Cincinnati. Bill's smart at that, but yeah, that really makes you wonder what's going on with Carson Wentz. So yeah, we're both taking Cincinnati. Then we have Houston at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at home, 3.5-point favorite. It's not a lot of points.
Pittsburgh's defense is really good. I think I'd take Pittsburgh.
David DeCastro, the all-pro guard, is maybe out, probably out for the Steelers.
Another Stanford guy.
And in the history of the Steelers, when DeCastro is out, Roethlisberger does terrible. The running is terrible. And the other thing is, as much as I don't like Bill O'Brien, I don't see Deshaun Watson go 0-3. It's really tough, and I against my better judgment, I'm taking Houston. So you're taking Pittsburgh.
All right
then. LA Rams. I don't trust them. I'll tell you that right away. At Buffalo, Mike Gesicki torched the Bills last week. the tight end, and the Goff to Higbee connection was 3 touchdowns for Higbee last week. So for fantasy purposes, I guess we can expect that Higbee is going to torch the Buffalo Bills again. But
No,
the 2-point spread, I think Higbee will, but I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Right, good times. Now, your Las Vegas Raiders, that looks so, and I like the way Derek Carr looked. He dinked and dunked his way to a very nice win against Drew Brees. He was the better
I
quarterback.
really thought it was impressive. Yeah.
And it was dinking and dunking, and what was it? 40% of the 46% of their offense went to Waller, the tight end. But Carr's happy with him. And Henry Ruggs, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with Henry Ruggs. He stretches the field.
That Waller is an amazing physical specimen. I didn't realize he had a lot of a history of drug abuse or something abuse.
He was a wide receiver in college, big star, got into drug abuse. That's why he went down in the draft. The Ravens took him, and he was using heroin with the Ravens. So here's a guy like Josh Gordon, no way. But
he's turned his life around.
And I hope he continues to. Bravo to him. Right. Exactly. A feel-good story. Absolutely. Yeah. Good for him. And good that Derek Carr supports him. So, unlike the other crazy guy they had there, Antonio Brown. Oh, jeez.
What a heck.
So, anyway, are the Raiders real or are they fools gold? Now, Matt, the Raiders played on Monday night. Now, we got a 2-0 team. Belichick lost his last game on the last play, and he has an extra day to prepare for your John Gruden. Come on, man. Dude, I'm turning it to Joe Biden. Come on, man. I am not going to take John Gruden. I'm not taking Gruden against Belichick. But the spread's pretty significant, 6 points. But it's the Raiders flying from the East Coast to Gillette Stadium. So I'm going with, I'm spotting the 6 to the Raiders. I will take New England.
You make really good points. He's going to get out coached. It's hard to fly back east. I still take the Raiders.
Wow, a true California Raiders fan. Yeah.
I used to have a Stay Raiders shirt instead of a Go Raiders shirt.
Dude, I could see you dressed up in all those masks and stuff. That would be cool. Yeah. So, as for Bay Area teams, is anybody healthy there? Do they have any players left flying to New York?
It's really bad. It's really bad.
They're 4 friggin' point favorite. What's up with that? Who in their right mind set that spread?
Against who?
That's an insult. That's an insult to the New York Giants. You got a team that's a total mash unit, favored by 4, flying from the West Coast to the East Coast. They're saying Danny Dimes sucks.
Well, I'm taking the Giants, but they lost Saquon Barkley.
I'm taking the Giants too. Absolutely. You got to be kidding me. Now, what happens though? Walt pointed this out to me. Teams that had an injury and have a new quarterback, they don't have their star quarterback. They usually do better and give major support to the backup quarterback. So that often happens against the spread, where the backup quarterback, the team outperforms themselves trying to help the guy.
That's true.
But dude, they're the favorites. To me, it's crazy. Crazy line. I'm taking the Giants. Now, another side. Yeah, I know. Oh, the whole team. And I'm dying for Debo to come back. I miss Debo. Anyway, Tennessee at Minnesota. Tennessee on the road. 2.5-point favorite. I love Mike Zimmer. I don't see him going 0-3. I love the guy. I don't want to see him go 0-3. Although maybe they should tank for Trevor Lawrence. But all these home dogs this week, I'm taking Minnesota. It's probably a crazy pick. You taking Minnesota or Tennessee -2.5?
Got to go with Tennessee.
Yeah, that's probably the smart pick. I am being emotional because I just love Zim. He's a good guy. Washington football team they're being hosted by the progressive guy, Baker Mayfield. He's going to clean the house. He's going to make sure everything's good. 7-point favorites.
Whoa. The Browns are 7-point favorites. Got Nick Chubb's is great running back. I don't think the the Washington team can stop them. And I'm going to go with Cleveland. It's a lot of points, though.
Me too. It's just Washington's offense. Their defense is great. Their offense is anemic. Yeah, I think Baker will have a decent game here. Carolina also maybe tanking for Trevor Lawrence. They should. Teddy Bridgewater, he's okay.
I'm not sold on him yet.
Yeah, me neither. Carolina going out to the St. Angeles Chargers. Who's going to be quarterback for St. Angeles? Even if Terod starts, then things start going bad. That guy, how do you play the Kansas City Chiefs and the coach comes up to him 5 minutes before kickoff and says, "We're starting you"? I mean, wow. And it's like no pressure. He hadn't worked with the first team offense all week. I'm taking San Diego. San Angeles.
Without McCaffrey.
Minus 6.5. Well, you didn't hear the spread yet. 6.5. So the spread does not deter you from going with the LA Chargers, right?
Nope.
All right, me neither. Then we have what used to be a great team. I actually met Joe Willie Namath, and they have gone a long ways away from
hard
Joe
to watch.
Willie Namath. But then we have Phillip Rivers, who probably should get a wheelchair soon. They're 10.5-point favorites. Indianapolis hosting the Jets, the hapless Jets.
That's a lot of points. I still take the Indianapolis.
I did too, against my better judgment. The Jets are just that horrible.
Yeah.
Without Le'Veon too. All right.
Yeah.
And now, one of the games of the week, next down Dallas. Dallas is going up to Seattle. And Russell Wilson, Seattle, 5-point favorite.
You know, it's very hard for me to root for the Cowboys. And I really like Russell Wilson. So I'm taking Seattle. You can take whatever points, you make it 4, you make it 6. I don't care.
That's the only game I hadn't picked yet. And now that it's a moment of truth. That was Fairy Dust that won that game for the Cowboys last week. They were really lucky. So, yeah, the Dallas secondary got torched by Ridley. And now we got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett coming. Come on, man.
Yeah. Metcalf has done wonders for me. I picked him. And he's going to be starting instead of Devontae, if Devontae can't make it.
Well, then you're in good shape. And, he's one of my favorite you can't really call him a sleeper, but a guy for a breakout this year. He's done it. Yeah. And then we got the Detroit Lions. At Arizona. Arizona's a 5.5-point favorite. I'm wondering what happened with the NFL schedule maker here. We've seen this movie before. Kyler Murray's first game in the desert was last year, week 1, against the Detroit Lions. Detroit jumped out to a 17-point lead. And then they were ahead 24-6 and had the game salted away. But it went to overtime, and it was a tie. So logic would tell you it was Tyler's first. Kyler, there you go, Mike. Kyler's first game. Matt Stafford played well, but the Lions always find a way to lose. They always find a way to lose, and they've been horrific.
Arizona's a much better team now than last year.
And the Lions have had 2 cornerbacks out. Whether or not those guys play Sunday is a critical factor in who will win this game. And the biggest factor, Kenny Golladay. Matt Stafford should have won the last 2 weeks. You had Swift dropping the ball in the end zone. I love Matt Stafford. I think Matt Patricia's playing for his job. The Lions had the lead last year. I think they're going to remember how they screwed that game up last year. And listening to Lions radio, and I don't think anybody in Detroit believes the Lions are going to win. They're which therefore I'm taking the Lions.
There you go.
I just, dude, the ship is burning. If they don't,
I'm picking the Cardinals against everybody until I see otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit because I don't think as soon as much worse, they're gonna fire Patricia in the next couple of weeks.
Well, they might have that end of the game touchdown that makes them cover the spread, but they're gonna lose.
Well, it's a must-win game for Detroit, so I'm taking Detroit against my better judgment. And now, another sad game for those who are believers.
Oh.
We have your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tommy is going to Mile High. Tampa Bay is 6-point favorites Going to Mile High.
Denver.
Who's saying these lines? Okay, I guess I don't need to say anymore then. Come on, man. It's in Denver. They got a good defense. And I think Driscoll will get some support. 6 points at Denver is too much. I agree with you. My Green Bay Packers for the Sunday night game. Aaron Rodgers against Drew Brees. Drew Brees is a 3-point favorite. Aaron Rodgers may or may not have Devontae Adams. Drew Brees will not have Michael Thomas. So, Jim, who are you going with?
Well, I got Kamara as my number one running back, so I want him to score a lot, but I think the Packers will win. If the Saints lost last time, then I don't believe in them until they show me otherwise.
Exactly. They lost to the friggin' Raiders. And they have the shorter week. And Kamara's still going to have a great game. The Green Bay can't stop the run. They're pathetic. And I wish they'd fix that. But despite that, I am going with Green Bay. And finally, the big game of the week, Monday night. You got who was the NFL MVP last year? What's his name? Lamar Jackson. Yeah, he's at home against Pat Mahomes. That game last year was very
That'll
exciting.
make up for the Thursday night game.
yeah, this is the Monday night game.
That'll be a great game. I can't wait for it.
Kansas City won it last year. It was really exciting.
It was very exciting. Yeah.
This should
be.
What's
the spread?
Well, home field advantage is worth 2 or 3. Baltimore is only a 3.5 point favorite. I think that's a reasonable spread.
That is. That makes it hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give you what resonates in my head here. I love Pat Mahomes. I don't think that Lamar Jackson can just keep running around and throw these. That one touchdown pass to Mark Andrews, that was an easy pass. He threw it so far away from him, they had to leap and one hand catch it. I mean, Mark Andrews is a great athlete, but they just can't. I don't think they can keep screwing around and doing all that stuff. No, somebody's going to go flatten Lamar Jackson. But Kansas City, how many games in their last 6 games where they've come from behind, incredible margins? I mean, against Houston in the Super Bowl, they looked terrible against San Diego, even though they won the game.
They got great weapons. They still have great weapons.
They got great weapons, but,
I think you talked me into taking KC, but I wanted to take Baltimore. I
think the Chiefs are reading their own plush clippings. I think Baltimore is tired of this, and I think Baltimore wants a statement game. And the Chiefs, I think there's more juice for Baltimore in this game psychologically because the Chiefs already won. Right. Well, I think would be best. It would be best for the Chiefs to lose this game and realize they need to tighten up and go win a Super Bowl, and then they'll win back to back. I actually think the loss could be good for them early in the season, so I'm going with Baltimore.
That works sometimes. I'll take Baltimore too. Then you talked me into it.
All right, then. So it's already a little bit over our time, which we never go over. Do you have anything that we haven't? Oh, wait, we do have one last thing. Do you have the DFS?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to do that real quick because we were 8-1 on our DFS on week 1. That's a great return on any investment, stock market, any kind. 8-1. Last week we were 5-1. So my lineup for this week. That's my lineup from last week. Let me see. Do you have it up on the screen?
I have it up on the screen.
All right, let me get to this. There it is. Yeah, I can see it now. Yay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Oh, wait, over here. Hi. All right. I love the value on Ben Roethlisberger. I don't really like him as a person, but he was pretty cheap at 64. The Houston defense really is not well, even though I think they'll cover that game. But Ben plays really well at home. He's played really well this year. I think he was a great value. Aaron Jones, he's leading the league in rushing, so he was worth the 7,600. Miles Sanders, I thought was a pretty good value at 6,400, and Cincinnati's not too good against the run. I went with your boy Nuke. Okay,
he was
my
expensive. Goodness! All right,
I spent $7,900, but I'm going with Nuke again because Detroit just has been pathetic on covering, and Nuke will get his. Mike Evans at Denver. That's probably the only good news for the Buccaneers this week. I think Mike Evans will do well, but I don't think the Bucs will win that game. Corey Davis again. I'm taking him like 3 weeks in a row. Minnesota can't cover anybody. Corey Davis was the number 5 pick in the draft a couple of years ago. He will continue his exploits against Minnesota. Very cheap at 5,200. Then I had to get cheap, guys. So Drew Sample took the place at UT Oklahoma, got hurt at Cincinnati. Sample got 9 looks. 9 looks. 9 targets. Anybody gets 9 targets. Philadelphia cannot cover tight ends. Philadelphia is the worst team in the league against tight ends. So for 3,500, go with Drew Sample. And actually, he's a good pickup off the waiver wire. Ian Thomas, I already predicted this would be a better week for him because the balls that went to Christian McCaffrey got to go somewhere. Ian Thomas, $3,000, a bargain. And finally, the Broncos defense was only 31. I'd expect bad things to happen to Tampa and Denver. So, you got anything to say about my lineup here, Jim?
Well, I'm happy you went with Hopkins. And I'm a little shaky on Mike Evans. I had him all last year. He was great for me last year, but I'm not sure in the Mile High Stadium that they're going to be effective. But we'll see. And he's a great wide receiver. So I'm not criticizing that.
Well, Jim, I can't thank you enough for the stuff you've been doing here, the production. And fans, we were 8-1 on DFS week 1.
Try and beat that.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And we were 9-6-1 against the spread. So we give you the waiver wire stuff. We give you the DFS. We give you against the spread. And we've been accurate week after week after week. So when you watch us on YouTube, please hit the like button. Thank you for watching the show. And see you guys next week.